Hi there, this is Ed Herzog with ElementorServices.com, and today I'm going to show you 10 key differences between the free version of Elementor and the pro version of Elementor. Now, I think the free version of Elementor is great, but if you're running a professional business, then in my opinion, you should really take a look at upgrading to Elementor Pro. And by the way, if you do decide to upgrade after watching this video, I'll put a link in the video description below. When you buy Elementor Pro via my link, I receive a small commission, which helps keep this channel alive. Now, let's take a look at 10 key differences between Elementor Free and Elementor Pro. One of the key differences between the free version of Elementor and the pro version of Elementor is that with the pro version of Elementor, you get access to the theme builder. The theme builder gives you complete control over the design of your website. So you can design your header, your footer, your blog posts, single pages, archive pages, search results, and your 404 page all within Elementor. And you'll have access to all of the free and pro widgets from Elementor and the Elementor style settings when you're designing these parts of your website. This is one of the features that I absolutely love about Elementor Pro, is the ability to design my website the way I want to. In fact, if you look at the Elementor Services website, everything is designed within Elementor. Nothing is controlled by my theme. On the other hand, if you're using the free version of Elementor, then these parts of your website will be controlled by your theme and you'll have very limited design options. So let me give you a quick look at how this works. So let's say that I want to create a blog post layout for the Elementor Services website. Come up here and click on Add New and click here on Single Post. What you see here is that I have about 30 different professionally designed blog post layouts that I can use as a starting point for my own blog post layout. Or if I want, I can click here on the X button and that'll close out and I can create my own blog post layout from scratch. But for the purposes of this quick demo, let's just use this template right here. So I'll click down here on Insert. And then I'm obviously going to have to design this to make it look good for my site. I'm here using a transparent header. I'm going to have to, obviously I would have to tweak that to make this look good with this particular template. And then, I can go through and change whatever I want here in terms of this blog post layout. It may not look good when you first load it. It kind of depends. In this case, because I don't have any blog posts on my website, it's not going to pull in the blog post content. So there may be some things that don't display. But again, you have access to all the different options from Elementor to use with your blog post layout or the other features or the other options within the theme builder. So again, I have all these different widgets, and just like in anything with Elementor, I can just drag and drop these onto the page. I can move things around. I can, edit the columns, edit the sections, etc. Now, the other part of the theme builder are the display conditions. And what this means is I can choose where I want these different parts of my website to display. So for example, I may not want this footer to display on every single part or every single page of my website. Or I can create different footers and have one footer display on certain pages and other footers display on other pages. So let me show you real quick how this works. So you see here that I'm now in the footer section of my theme builder. I have these two footers here, and one way in which I can edit the conditions, if I already have them set, is by clicking right here on Edit Conditions. The other thing I can do, if I haven't set the conditions yet, if I'm still working on my footer, I can come here to Edit, and then come here to this up arrow, click on that, and then right there under Display Conditions, I can start setting the conditions for how and where to display the various parts of my website. Now you see here, in this case, I've excluded this footer from my entire site. It's one that I was originally using on the site. Then I decided I didn't want to use it anymore, but I didn't want to delete it in case I want to use it again in the future. So excluding something from the entire site is an option. And you see here that you have both include and exclude options. So we'll take a look at these. They're both the same. They're both, the include and exclude have the same option. So include, you see, again, you can include something for the entire site. You can include something on all archive pages, or you have these sub options here. Or you can include on all singular, or again, you have all these different sub options for where to display on pages and posts. So those are your options for include, and again, the exclude options are going to be exactly the same. Now the other thing here is you can add multiple conditions. So you can have a variety of different include and exclude conditions and really tailor where you want your various headers, footers, blog posts, etc. to display on your website. So for me, the theme builder is one of the most powerful features of Elementor Pro and one of the main reasons to upgrade from the free version to the pro version of Elementor. Now the next key difference between the free version and the pro version of Elementor is that with the pro version of Elementor, you get access to the Popup Builder. So Popup Builder allows you to design different types of pop-ups that will display on your website. And again, this all integrates with Elementor, so you'll have access to all the different widgets, all the styling options, etc. And while most people might use a pop-up for an opt-in pop-up where people can opt into your email list, you can create any sort of pop-up that you want. So you could have a pop-up countdown timer, you could have a pop-up that shows your latest blog post, you could have a pop-up for GDPR permission. Whatever you want to create, you can do it with the Popup Builder. So again, let me show you real quick how this works. So click here on Add New Pop-up and just give this a quick name and click on Create Template. And then I can look here within category to find different types of pop-ups. So you can see I can create a bottom bar, a classic type of pop-up, a fly-in, a full screen, a hello bar, or a slide-in. So, and again, I have all these different templates here that I can use as a starting point for whatever I want to design within the Elementor Popup Builder. And again, if I don't want to use one of these templates, I can just click on the X button and then start from scratch. But again, the Popup Builder, it integrates within Elementor. So again, you can use everything from Elementor within your Popup Builder. So again, if I choose this one right here and go ahead and insert it, you see here that I have the full range of widgets that I can add into this here as part of my pop-up. And I have all the different styling options, etc. Now, as part of the Popup Builder, you also have display conditions, triggers, and advanced rules. And similar to the theme builder, these really allow you to target where and when your pop-ups will display to your website visitors. Let's take a look at how these work. So let me come over here and click on the up arrow. And as you see, you have display conditions, triggers, and advanced rules. Let's start with the display conditions. Now, these are going to be the exact same as what we saw with the theme builder, but let's take a quick look anyway. So if I click here on Add Condition, again, one option is include for the entire site. I can also go to Archives, and I can either do all archives or these sub options. And the same thing with singular. I have all singular or these various sub options. And under exclude, it's going to be the exact same as we just saw. So again, exclude singular and all those sub options, archives, all archives, or those sub options, or exclude from the entire site. And again, similar to the theme builder, I can add conditions. So I can have a variety of different exclude and include conditions to really target which pages of my website I want a particular pop-up to display on. So after setting your display conditions, you'd obviously want to set your triggers. So you can come here and you see you have on page load, on scroll to element, on click, after an activity, and on page exit intent. Then here you have advanced rules, so you can show after X page views, show after X sessions, show up to X times, when arriving from a specific URL, show from arriving from, let's take a look, search engine, external links, internal links, so a few options there. Hide for long-hidden users, show on particular types of devices, and show on particular types of browsers. So again, with these display conditions, triggers, and advanced rules, you can really target where and when your pop-ups show up for your website visitors. So again, the Popup Builder that's available in Elementor Pro is one of the key differences from the free version, and in my opinion, one of the better reasons to upgrade to Elementor Pro. Another main difference between the free version and the Pro version of Elementor is that in the Pro version, you simply get access to a lot more widgets that you can use to design every single part of your site. Now, I'm not going to go through and name every single one of these. I'm just going to scroll down. You can take a look, but as you'll see, you definitely get a lot more widgets in the Pro version. Now, two of these widgets are of particular importance in my opinion. Those are the form widget and the table of content widget. So if I come back up here, you see the table of contents widget. So what you can do with that particular widget, you can use that within your blog post to create a table of contents so that the people reading your blog post can much easier find the information they're looking for within that particular blog post. And if you've ever seen in Google results, sometimes you see a table of contents when you search for something on Google. This particular widget gives you the possibility of having your blog post show up in the Google search results with the table of contents. So this here is a very valuable widget that you only get in the Pro version of Elementor. The other one, as I mentioned, is the form widget. So again, if I come up here, you see the form widget. And with the form widget, they have, I think within the last 6 to 8 months, introduced two-step forms. So that way, if you have a form that you want somebody to fill out on your website that is particularly long, they don't have to fill it out all on one page. They can go, you can basically have page 1, 2, 3, 4, and it toggles through those different pages. That way the form doesn't look quite as long, doesn't look quite as overwhelming. And again, this is a form widget that you can use to collect a lot of different types of information from the people who visit your website. So those two widgets in particular are quite valuable within the Pro Elementor widget set. But again, there are lots of others here that you can use as well to design your website to look the way you want. So that's another main difference between the Pro version and the free version of Elementor is again, you simply get more widgets. Now the next main difference, the next key difference between the free and the Pro version of Elementor is that in the Pro version, you get access to the Elementor WooCommerce Builder. Now I personally don't use WooCommerce, but if you do, you see right here that with the Elementor WooCommerce Builder, you can now design your single product and archive page templates visually and without coding. And if we scroll down here, you see that you get these widgets here: add to cart button, product price, product title and description, product image, upsells, product related, product rating, product content, product data tabs, meta and additional information, breadcrumbs, and product stock. If we come down even further, there are more widgets. So you see here, keep scrolling, products, WooCommerce pages, custom add to cart, product categories, menu cart, archive title, archive description, and we've already seen breadcrumbs. So you get a lot of WooCommerce widgets that you can use to design your various product pages within Elementor. So again, if you use WooCommerce, then Elementor Pro is a really great option for you in terms of creating this type of site that you want to create for your business. Another key difference between the free version and the Pro version of Elementor is that with the Pro version, you have access to dynamic content and custom fields integration. And I'm going to talk about these two together because you'll often be using them together. So you see here with dynamic content, you can create personalized and dynamic sites by populating data from various sources. If you scroll down, you can create content for post types, so movies, reviews, portfolios, WooCommerce products, and more. You can add ACF, pods, jet engine, or toolset content. And you can use a variety of dynamic content. So dynamic colors, featured image, site logo, post author, customer reviews, and more. Then if I switch to this tab here, again, as I've mentioned, you can integrate with ACF, with toolset, with pods, and I know they now also have jet engine integration. This allows you to create more advanced websites without any code. So you see here that with the custom fields integration, you have a long list of different types of sites that you can create without having to hand code them. So portfolio sites, e-commerce sites, recipe sites, movie review sites, online course sites, staff and team pages, coupon sites, business directories, classifieds, and real estate listings. So again, you can create some quite advanced sites using Elementor Pro that you wouldn't be able to do using just the free version of Elementor. So again, this is one of the key differences between the free and the Pro version is, again, the access to dynamic content and custom fields integration. Now, the next key difference between Elementor Free and Elementor Pro that I want to show you are global widgets. Now, the way a global widget works is this. So you see, for example, here on my website, I have this button here, and that button is styled in a particular way. So a particular background color, a particular font, a particular effect when somebody hovers over it. And let's say I want that same button elsewhere on my website. I can save this button as a global widget and then add it to other parts of my website. And then let's say later on I want to change something about this button. Let's say I want to change the font. I can update it in one place and it will update in every single place that I've added that button as a global widget. It's a great way to speed up the process of creating a website and updating a website. So let's take a look at this a little closer. So first of all, let me save this button as a global widget. So I'll come over here and right click and save as global. We'll just call this a global button. Go ahead and save it. Now you see here under global, I have this global button. So if I want to add the same button elsewhere on my website, instead of coming here under elements and adding button and then styling it, and then, every time I update this button, I've got to go into that other button and change it, I can come over here to global and I can drag this widget anywhere onto my website, whether it's on this page here or a different page on my website. And if I update in one place, it will update elsewhere. So let's just go ahead and drop it right here on top of the other one. You see here, you can either edit the global widget or if you want to unlink it. And in the future, if you don't want a particular widget to be linked to the global widget, you can unlink it right here. Let's go ahead and edit it. And we'll just change this to say buy here and go ahead and update it. Now you see, all I did was update this one here, but when I go ahead and preview this, you're going to see that these are both going to say buy here because this one has been automatically updated because it's part of the global widget. So I'm going to go ahead and preview changes and scroll down, and voila, they both say buy here. So the global widget is a great feature that can really speed up your process of designing a website and updating a website when you need to make updates. And again, it's a key difference between the free version and the pro version of Elementor. Now, the next key difference between the free and the pro version of Elementor is that in the pro version, you have access to a feature called action links. I'm not going to go into detail in this particular video about action links because I already have a couple tutorials on my YouTube channel where I go into depth on this particular feature. But basically, action links allow you to set up things like click to call buttons, click to email buttons, click to what's up buttons, etc. It's a great feature for connecting with your website visitors. So let me show you real quick the different options you have with action links. So I'll just scroll down here. And you see here, click to call. Click to navigate so you can connect to Waze so people can get directions to your business. Click to email, send emails with subject and body pre-filled. Click to message, so text with visitors via WhatsApp, Messenger, Viber, or Skype. And finally, click to calendar, so people can add your events to their calendar, either Google, Yahoo, or Outlook. So action links are another key difference between the free and the pro version of Elementor. The next key difference between the free version and the pro version of Elementor are the sticky effects and the motion effects. Now, I have a much longer video on my YouTube channel in which I go into these different effects in more detail, but basically what they do is they make your site look more alive by making part of it sticky or putting other parts in motion. You can see right here, if you look right here, this here is sticking as the person is scrolling down. So that is one thing you get here are the sticky scrolling effects, but there are also motion effects. So let's take a look at those as well. So I'm just going to scroll down this page to show you the different motion effects that you get with Elementor Pro. So if I come down here, you see the first one is the vertical scroll. So as the person moves up and down the page, you're seeing certain items move vertically. Coming down here, you'll see the opposite, so the horizontal scroll. So you see text moving horizontally as a person scrolls up and down the page. Here you have transparency, so you see the word New York becoming more or less transparent as a person moves up and down the page. Here is blur, so you're seeing Bogota becoming more or less blurry with the movement up and down the page. Here is rotate, so those umbrellas are rotating as the person moves up and down the page. Scale, so welcome to the beach becomes bigger or larger as the person moves up and down the page. Mouse effects, you'll see as the person hovers over various items with their mouse, they start to move. And finally, I have 3D tilt. So you see that box there moves in a 3D motion, in a tilting motion, as a person hovers over it with their mouse. So you see here that you have a variety of different motion effects within Elementor Pro that you can use to really make your site become, come alive and draw the attention of your website visitors. So again, the motion effects and the sticky effects are one of the key differences between Elementor Pro and Elementor Free. Now, the next key difference between the free version and the pro version of Elementor is that in the pro version, you have the ability to add custom CSS. Now, you can accomplish a lot in Elementor without any CSS, but there may be situations in which you need to add CSS to your website or your client's websites in order to accomplish what you want to accomplish. And the great thing is, with the pro version of Elementor, not only can you add custom CSS, you have a lot of different options in terms of how and where you add it. So let me show you that real quick. So first of all, if you want to add custom CSS to your full website, you can come up here, click on that hamburger menu, and then come in here to Site Settings. And scroll down, and right there, Custom CSS. And so whatever CSS that you enter right here in this box will be applied to your full website. Now if I close out of this, and let's say I want to add custom CSS just to this page here. So this whole page here gets custom CSS, but no other part of my website. Come here to this gear icon, click on that, come to Advanced, and right there you can add custom CSS. I can also add custom CSS to a particular section on my website. So let me come down here. If I click there, and then again, come over here to Advanced and scroll down, right there, custom CSS. I can do the same thing with a column. So if I come here Here I have this column, these two widgets within this column. If I click there and then come to advanced and scroll down, again, custom CSS. And then finally I can add custom CSS to a particular widget. So if I want custom CSS to only be applied to this particular widget right here, I can click right there and then go into advanced and scroll down again, and right there, custom CSS. So this is another key difference between the free version and the pro version is, again, with the pro version, you can add custom CSS to your Elementor website, and you have a lot of different options in terms of how that custom CSS gets applied, whether it's to the whole website, a single page, a section, a column, or an individual widget. The final key difference between Elementor Free and Elementor Pro that I want to show you is the Elementor Kit library. Now, what you have in the Elementor Kit library are a variety of fully designed websites that you can install with a single click, and they come in a lot of different niches. Now, I have a full tutorial on my YouTube channel going into detail on the Elementor Kit library, but for this video, I want to give you a real quick demonstration. So let me come here to Templates and then Kit Library. And as I've already mentioned, what you're seeing here are fully designed websites that you can install with a single click. And as I already mentioned, they come in a lot of different niches. So let me just scroll down here and give you a sense as to the range of kits that you get. And again, as you're seeing, there are quite a few of these, and you can just install one and then start tweaking it to make it look the way you want it to look. Now, I do want to clarify one thing. If I come all the way up here to the top, these 5 here actually do come with the free version of Elementor, but you obviously get a lot more with the pro version. So these ones marked here come with any pro license. And if I scroll down, there are a few that you do need the expert license or higher. So this one here, for example, I do not have access to because I do not have an expert license. But most of these will come with the pro or higher license. So let's just click on this one and take a look. So if I scroll down, I can see what this looks like. This is the home page. I can come here, and you'll see these are already well designed for both tablet and mobile. So come down here, look here at mobile. If I come over here and click on Overview, I can see all the different pages and different site parts that come with this particular template kit. So with this one, you get home page, About Us, Contact, header, footer, 404 page, single story, single tip, story archives, tips archive, and then a couple of different pop-ups. And again, this is going to depend on the particular kit that you're looking at, and whichever kit you install, you'll get different site parts and different pages. But again, this is a great way to quickly speed up your process of designing a web page, particularly if you're not a designer. You can start with one of these templates and then tweak it to look the way you want. So again, this is one of the key differences between the free version of Elementor and the pro version of Elementor. So those are 10 key differences between the free version and the pro version of Elementor. Now, I do want to mention that what I've done in this video is highlight what I consider to be 10 of the most important differences. But if you look at this page here, this full comparison page between pro and free, you will see that there are a lot more differences. And as I scroll down this page, what you're going to see is you're going to see a lot of red X's here and a lot of green checks here. Let me just keep scrolling down all the way to the bottom. And again, you're seeing a lot of red X's in one column and a lot of green checks in the other column. And if I get all the way here to the bottom, you can see the pricing for Elementor Pro. Now, in my opinion, Elementor Pro is quite inexpensive in return for everything you get with the Pro version. So you see here, if you have a single website, it's going to cost you $49 a year. So basically $4 a month for your business. If you're running multiple businesses and need additional websites, it'll cost you for 3 websites, basically $8 a month. Now, these ones here are a bit more expensive, but these plans here are if you're running an agency and creating websites for other people. So in that case, my assumption is a lot of this cost you're going to pass on to your customers. So you're not actually absorbing the cost for your business, you're actually billing some of this cost to your customers. So again, Elementor Pro is quite inexpensive for what you get in return. And if you do decide to upgrade to Elementor Pro, remember that I will put a link down in the video description below. And when you buy from my link, that does allow me to make a little bit of a commission and allow me to continue to create free content like this video here. So I hope you found this video helpful, and I hope to see you on the next video. Bye.